Memorial for a non-district matchup between Brownsville Veteran, the Lady Chargers, and the Lady Raiders of Brownsville, Rivera. Bert Ruiz on the camera operations with me, and wow, we had a adventurous time getting set up here at this one. You see the bleachers across the way behind the benches. Well, those bleachers were supposed to be pulled out, and that was within perfect distance of our internet connection. Well, those bleachers aren't pulled out as there's games going on behind that, and so therefore here we are on the flip side of the gym after stringing some 150 foot of internet cable, and our assistants coming to us from the Brownsville IT department, and our big time assistants there as they came on their night off to assist us. So our thanks in a big part to the Brownsville School District and assisting us in our broadcast. They're getting ready to announce the lineups. A huge crowd because they haven't got those bleachers pulled out. Everybody's seated over here on this side, and I'm not sure there's many seats left once everyone gets settled in here. Welcome again to our pregame show, brought to you in part by Hacienda Ford. Out of Edinburgh, Texas, you're in the business of a new car, a used car, or if you need service done to your car, well, then in Edinburgh, Texas, Hacienda Ford, one of our title sponsors here on Rio Sports Live. Also coming to you from other venues tonight as we are set up at Harlingen, we're set up at Sherryland, we're set up at Donna, we're set up at Pioneer, and of course here in Brownsville. 5 different crews out tonight covering high school volleyball. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have you close to the first serve of this one. High school volleyball, the Chargers and the Lady Raiders on Rio Sports Live. Back here on the pregame show as they continue with the introduction of the players here at the gym. Again, a huge crowd here on hand for this one. As the Lady Raiders had their lineups announced, now it's the Lady Chargers. And I'm not sure who brought the bigger crowd here tonight, whether it's the Lady Raiders or the Lady Chargers. But again, we've seen both of these teams in action throughout tournament play, getting ready for this part of the schedule. That is the final game before district play for both of these teams. And we've seen them at a high competitive level in a lot of times. And so if both of these bring their A game, which both coaches indicate that they're getting there to their A spot as they prepare for district play, then we could have an extremely competitive match here in this one between the Lady Chargers of Brownsville Veterans and the Lady Raiders of Brownsville Rivera. Again, a big crowd on hand. Bert Ruiz on the camera. I'm Joe Bowling with you. Thanks for joining us. Those watching on our social media, if you're watching on Facebook, be sure you share the link, allowing other fans to know what's happening out there. I know they're broadcasting this also on Brownsville BISD. We're also on our YouTube channel, our Roku television channel, also broadcasting this tonight. And it's also coming across on our website, multiple platforms from which you can view these games. Back with the first serve after this.
Rio Sports Live. Rio Sports 5, number 1.
Before you have time to worry, we'll get you taken care of fast and now you can get back to your day with a healthy smile.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
It's a Hacienda party.
It's football season at Hacienda Ford, and you can get a new Ford Expedition with 20-inch wheels, leather, navigation, and more for $12,000 off MSRP.
We got the tailgates down and we're feeling all right. My Hacienda friends are saving money tonight.
Hacienda has it.
Needing a treat before or after the big game? Then, when in Harlingen, stop in at the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli and treat yourself to some amazing things. Ice creams, shakes, sundaes, banana splits, and that's just a sample. If you can dream it, they can make it at the Scoop in Harlingen. From the deli comes a variety of sandwiches that is sure to bring you back for more. Hamburgers and hot dogs served every day. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, Sundays from 12 to 6. On F Street in Harlingen, it's the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli.
Back here on Rio Sports as we are set for the first serve. They had some difficulties getting the national anthem played out, so the two teams stood there at attention for a while. The fans were all standing here ready to go, and then they just sent the teams over on the sideline to prepare for this matchup here tonight. Best of 5 series will go to 25 in each of the games, win by 2. If we get to game 5, we'll be going to 15, win by 2. No cap, as we'll be playing for a while if these teams just absolutely get after it point for point. And both have shown the ability to sustain long rallies and challenge for every point, whether it be at the net or defensively on the back row. And now they're bringing the bleachers out on the other side. Bert and I were watching with a lot of anxious moments, wondering whether or not we were going to try to set up right before the game started or not. And I'm certainly glad that we were assisted now they're going to start filing some of this crowd over on the other side. Lady Raiders will be in the dark uniforms on the visiting side. The Lady Chargers in the white uniforms with the red trim and the black shorts as we get set for this first serve of this game. Coming to you from Brownsville, Texas on a Tuesday night. Want to remind you, football fans, we have action coming your way Thursday night. We'll be live from down here, Brownsville. Mission Veterans kicks off against Brownsville Veterans. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have a live stream of that. We're also going to get set at Donna North, at Donna, Texas, as LaGruya takes on Donna North on a Thursday matchup. Those are video games. We also will have a broadcast of San Benito at PSJA in conjunction with the PSJA School District on the broadcast. Not certain whether or not, but I wouldn't bet on it that it'll be live video because of the fact that Dan Gomez of the San Benito Greyhounds has indicated he does not want a live stream of video nor archives of the Greyhounds games in their entirety. But nonetheless, we'll have the broadcast coming to you in some form or another, whether it be audio only or, if allowed, through the PSJA School District. Then we'll have the video presentation of the game, at least live. And that's always a discussion with certain coaches, and in some cases they do allow just a live broadcast of this. Regarding a volleyball here tonight, we will be pulling these games a little bit later on, as we will be adhering to coaches' wishes, who are asking us to pull this game before district play, which is Saturday. And so these games won't be on long. Lady Chargers will serve it up, and away we go as Daniela Espinoza puts it into play. Diving play on the back row, kept it alive for the Lady Raiders. Here come the Chargers on the attack on a back set in the middle. Another diving chance for the Raiders is already on that back row. Richelle Guerra's been busy. This one carries out of bounds, and a point scored. Gives the Lady Chargers the first point of the night. It's a 1-0 game. Serving again as Espinoza puts it across. Guerra with a pass. Better opportunity here. Here's a first kill attempt by the Lady Raiders. Played by the Chargers off the net this time on the left side. That's Valeria Samaya. Ball back on the Raiders side. On the left, that's over and down for the point on a kill by Christina. Or check that. That's going to be in the net. Point scored, Chargers. Brownsville Veterans goes up 2-0 here in game number 1. Next serve across. Good high pass on the back row. Michelle Guerra back there on that back row. There's a challenge at the net. Ball still alive. Back on the Raiders side. High pass, high set, and punched over. Lady Chargers coming right back at you on the middle. Eased over by Monica Garcia there in the as the middle hitter. Ball on the back row. That finds its way home, and a point for the Lady Raiders. Makes it a 2-1 game. Brownsville Rivera back to serve. First serve of the night just gets across the net. Played by the Chargers off the net. At the left side is Abigail Padilla. That's down for a point. Lady Chargers go up 3-1. Back to serve now is Hannah Edelstein. We'll check that. Valeria Samaya back at the service line for the Lady Chargers. Samaya ready to go. Puts it in play with a 3-1 lead. Kara there to dig that again. This is a back set this time on the right side. Hit over. Played up high at the net. Blocked back at you. Kenya Ibarra now at the front row for the Raiders on that outside left. They'll set her up. Big swing, no, tips it over the left hand. That is into the point. Raiders make it 3-2. Substitution in the game for the Lady Chargers. Here comes Sarah Gomez into the ball game. Raiders serving, looking for the tie. Deep serve played by the Chargers. Second hit over and kept alive by the Raiders. Normally you don't catch that back row sleeping too often for the Lady Raiders of Brownsville Rivera. This one comes over the net. Point scored. In the net called against the Raiders, and a point for the Chargers. 4-2 game. Serving again is Garcia. Monica Garcia for the Brownsville veteran Lady Chargers. Deeper serve. Good pass this time by Guerra. High set on a back set to the right side. Played over on the Chargers side, and the pass sails out of reach. And a point scored there for Brownsville Rivera. They'll serve now, looking for the tie. 4-3 game. Back at the line. Serving it across is Clarissa Olivares. Set up at the net in the middle. Tipped over. Raiders there to play that. Ball up on a back set this time. Tipped over. Raiders watch as the Chargers set it up on an outside left hit. Off the block. Point scored. Raiders tie it up 4 apiece. Defensively, the Lady Raiders of Brownsville Rivera able to tie the game. 4-4 your score. Ball over on the Raiders side. Guerra tips it over. High set off the net. Spiked across, and a point score for the Lady Chargers. 5-4 game for the Lady Chargers. Back to serve as Alexandra Parchment. Instead, they'll bring in Rebecca Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets it over. Chargers with a high set in the middle. Spiked off the block, played by the Lady Chargers. On the right side, block back at you. Ball still alive. Raiders now setting up something here on the outside. Here's Ibarra down the line. Good point scored. Tie it at 5 apiece. Again, our thanks to Mario Molina in the IT department. And a 6-5 game. Guerra there to keep that ball alive for a moment. Tipped over by Christina Garza. Here come the Chargers on the attack on the outside left. Big swing played by Guerra. Off the net again. This is Garza. Back row there to play that. Good dig that time by Parchment. Ball over on the Raiders side. A high set in the middle this time. Clarissa Olivares sets it up. The hit goes out of bounds. And a point to the Chargers. They go up 7-5. Game as the Lady Chargers will serve it up. Dominique Mania back at the service line. That one goes out of bounds and a point to the Raiders. Service error. Michelle Guerra back to serve now for the Lady Raiders of Brownsville. Rivera with a jump serve. The freshman puts it over. Chargers will have to play it. A free ball here for the Raiders. A high set on the outside left off the block. That's a point scored. Christina Garza puts it away, ties it at 7 apiece. Michelle Guerra back to serve. Jump serve across. High set in the middle, spiked over. Guerra there to dig that. Raiders set it up and hit over by Garza. Kept alive, ball at the net, spiked down and kept alive again by the Chargers. Back on the Raiders side. Now the Charger with a chance to attack. A high set in the middle, down the middle. Played on the back row this time by Olivares to keep it alive. Challenge at the net, point scored. Chargers regain the lead. Brownsville veterans with a little extra defense that time thing. 8-7 game. Jump serve across. Guerra with a pass. Ball up near the net, one-handed over. Chargers try to dig it. They will dig it out of the net. Raiders, though, with a golden opportunity here. Center set and down for the kill. Tie game at 8 apiece. 8-8 game as the Lady Raiders stand back at the service line. Short serve across, played by the Chargers off the net, spiked over. High set, punched over. Chargers on the attack with a high set outside and big kill, but a good dig this time by the Lady Raiders. Right back at you with a dig for the Chargers. They'll set it center again. Guerra there to dig that. 3 great digs back and forth. Ball still alive. Chargers have it from the middle. Back row attack this time off the net. Played by the Raiders. Brownsville Rivera set it up. A better swing this time by Garza, but it's dug again. Longest rally of this game thus far. 8-8 score here in the first. Another swing by Garza that's down on the back row and in. Raiders with their first lead. Nine-8 score. Lady Raiders serving it up. Good return of serve. A high set this time off the net. Guerra there to dig that for the Lady Raiders. Center set punched over by Kenya Ibarra, and that falls down with a point. Ibarra normally can come at you with just huge deliveries. That time just a well-placed hit. 10-8 score. Biggest lead for the Lady Raiders of Brownsville Rivera as the visitors here. Short serve across, played by the Chargers. Pass not there, point to the Raiders. 3-point lead for Brownsville Rivera. What happens with either of these teams, if you get a lead, it's darn near impossible to come back against these teams because of the way they play defense. You can score a point or two, but never get on those big runs. Guerra with a good dig. Here's a set. Again, they go to Garza, Christina Garza. Lock back at you, point Chargers. It's 11-9 game. Substitutions in the game now for Brownsville Veterans Memorial. Abigail Padilla checks in. She'll check in on the front row. Meanwhile, back at the service line stands Daniela Espinoza. Short serve across. Guerra with a pass. A high set off the net. Punched over. Blocked back at you. That time they were setting up Aisha Izagiri. Point to the Chargers, 1-point game. Chargers serving now for the tie here in game 1. Guerra with a pass. High back set this time, punched over. Good dig this time by the Chargers. From the right side, punched over. Raiders there on the attack, set it up near the net, nothing doing. Point scored by the Chargers. We're all tied at 11 apiece. Additional broadcasts again coming your way tonight from Harlingen, from Sherryland, from Donna, from Pioneer. Bringing you coverage here tonight of high school volleyball. Back set that time. Chargers get it over. Raiders set it up, and here's the swing by Garza. In the net it goes, though. Point scored by the Chargers. I said long runs were hard to come by between these two teams, but that's 4 unanswered points now for the Lady Chargers. to regain the lead after trailing 11-8. That serve was nearly out of bounds. The pass does go out of bounds, and that's 5 consecutive points now scored for the Lady Chargers. Feeling it here at home in game number 1 of this best of 5. Espinoza to serve again. For that, Lady Raiders having some discussion. They'll call a timeout. 13-11 your score. Lady Chargers with the lead. Game 1 continues.
Hi, we're the Lady Tigers, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Come see what the City of San Benito has to offer today. Business owners, visit the San Benito Chamber of Commerce and find out how they can help you be a part of the new and exciting growth the city is experiencing today. Supporting business, community, and the teams, San Benito Chamber of Commerce.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Back here as we resume play in game number 1 of the Brownsville Veterans Chargers serving it up. The Lady Raiders of Brownsville Rivera on the return. They called the timeout. They set it to the center of the net and score a point. Most of the games in which we've covered Brownsville Rivera, they responded any time. Richard Guerra calls a timeout. Also Shirley Zuniga, Cindy Sierra over there. Mary Elizabeth Guerra, the head coach. There's the biggest swing of the night. Dug, though, by the Chargers. From the right side, played off the Raiders defense. Punched over. Chargers coming right back at you. Set it up middle. Another big swing. Dug by the Raiders. The pass goes to the bleachers, and a point for the Lady Chargers. Brownsville Veterans Memorial with a 2-point lead here in game 1. And serving. Jump serve across. Played by the Lady Raiders. A high back set this time on the curl off the block, and a point score for the Raiders. 14-13 as Izagiri was able to get that one down. Laisha Izagiri back to serve. One hands that over. And an ace served up ties the game at 14 apiece. Laisha Izagiri on the service ace. Now stands back at the line for another serve. Lady Chargers back to return this. Good pass this time. A high set in the middle. No blockers there. Put it down. Point scored, Chargers. No one there to challenge that right down central, and Sarah Gomez able to put that away. Back to serve now is Monica Garcia. Garcia gets it over. Raiders on a back set on the right side. Punched over, point scored. Tied again at 15. Back and forth we go here in game 1 as the Lady Chargers will now wait for a serve by Brownsville Rivera. Back at the line is Clarissa Olivares. Olivares serves it up. Short serve played by the Chargers. Good pass this time. Punched over on the second hit. Raiders there to cover it. They'll set up Ibarra. Punches it over. Diving play back there by Parchman to keep that alive. And then a big swing, and there's Guerra to dig that. Ball goes out of bounds. Point scored, Chargers. Bigger hitting coming up from both teams on that rally. On the exchange, the Lady Chargers score the point. Up 1 as Rebecca Rodriguez will serve. High set for the Chargers. Ibarra on that right side. Good dig again by Parchman on the back row. She'll become the hitter. Left hands it over. Guerra there to dig that. Set up Ibarra this time on the left side. Puts it away. were moving her in various spots that time around on that rotation. For Brownsville Rivera, that serve just gets across. Chargers ease it over. Guerra with a pass. The high set, middle. In the net it goes. Point score for the Chargers. Brownsville Rivera now up 17-16. Substituting in on the front row will be Valeria Sumaya. Meanwhile, back to serve is Dominique Mena. Mena ready to serve. Just gets it over, and an ace served up for the Chargers. They go up 2. 18-16 as Mena is able to serve up an ace. Jump serve across, punched up in the air. Ease it over. Chargers with a golden chance here in the middle. Off the block, right back at you. Chargers keep it alive on the back row this time. Attack, that's 4 hits and a point for the Raiders. Raiders middle blockers in position that time to challenge that. 1 point game at 18-17. Back to serve is Richelle Guerra. Guerra will serve it over. Chargers on the return of serve from the right side. Punched up by Ibarra. Free ball for the Chargers from the back row. Set it way off the net. Spiked over. Guerra there to easily dig that for the Raiders. Here's another hit by Christina Garza, played by the Lady Chargers. Back on the Raiders side. Guerra from the back row. Sets Ibarra off the net. Back row attack. Another dig by Parchment back there for the Lady Chargers. She's been busy. Another set. This is Garza. Blocked, but then covered by the Lady Chargers. Left hand punch it over. Blocked back at you. Still alive. And the ball sails out of bounds. We're tied. I think in that one, Alexandra Parchment was decoyed a little bit. She thought maybe that was a 4th hit, as that was borderline in the net off the block. Official called that off the block. Now at the net. Ball dug back on this Charger side. Raiders. Ibarra with a pass. High set at the net. Challenge there. Chargers win that and take a 19-18 lead. Veterans Memorial back with the lead. Back to the front row is Monica Garcia. Meanwhile, Alexander Parchment back at the service line with a deep approach. Left hand's head over. Raiders. Guerra gets it over. Parchment with a set now. Back row attack. Dug by Ibarra. Punch back over on the Chargers side. They'll set it again. This time looking for Samaya. Played by the Lady Raiders. Go back to Garza. Diving play by Parchment. Again, keeping a ball in play. Guerra there to do the same thing on the other side. Ball back over on the Charger side. Set it up middle. Spiked over. Played by the Lady Raiders. Off the net this time. There's Garza again. Puts it down. Ties the score at 19 apiece. Christina Garza has been receiving a steady feed of sets across that front net. Ball blocked back at you. High set in the middle. Punched over. Lady Raiders. Now watch. Chargers put it back over. There's a challenge at the net and kept alive. Back over. Chargers looking to set the attack. Here's the hit by Samaya. In the net called and point scored Chargers. Samaya had that one lined up anyway. I'm not sure the Lady Raiders would have been able to return that with any chance for a play. 1 point lead. First team to 20 is the Chargers of Brownsville Veterans. Serve over. Played by the Lady Raiders. Good pass. A high set off the net. Spiked in the net. Point score for the Chargers. Timeout called. Remember, fans, if you're in the need of a new car or a used car, Hacienda Ford, just one of our title sponsors, but a big reason why we're here. Community support, regardless of where the community is. Hacienda Ford and Rio Sports Live, a great combination.
Hi, we're the Road 9 City Rattlers. Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Men's Start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Back here, Bert Ruiz on the camera. Joe Bowling with you. 21-19 from Brownsville, Texas, as Brownsville Veterans and Brownsville Rivera locked up in a good one. We expected it to be a close game between these two teams when we set this one up. High set in the middle, spiked over, played by the Chargers. Parchment keeps that alive. Free ball for the Lady Raiders, down by 2. High set. Garza again nearly put that away. Chargers did a good job of digging that. Ball on the back row. Here's a back row kill attempt. Good dig that time by Dominic Mania for the Lady Chargers of Brownsville Veterans. Ibarra somehow keeps that one alive for a moment. Nothing doing. Chargers score the point and go up 3. 3-point lead for Brownsville Veterans. Earlier, the Lady Raiders had a 3-point lead. Espinoza serves it over. Raiders on a good set. That's Garza. Good dig again by Parchment. I've said that a ton of times. Back row, this is Mania to put it over. Raiders, free ball for the Chargers here on this attack. High center, quick set. Spiked over, played by the Lady Raiders. They'll set it up in the middle. Off the block, that carries out of bounds, and the point to the Lady Raiders. 2-point game for Brownsville Rivera. Danielle Espinosa, or check that. Christina Garza rolls back to serve, and that means Kenya Ibarra back to the front row. Serve over. Ibarra lined up on that left side. Punched over. Guerra there to pass it. Ball back on the Raiders side. Now the Chargers have a chance. Tipped over. Covered. Better setting opportunity, and here's Ibarra. One hands that over. Got the point. Lady Raiders cut it to